So, after about an hour and a half long endeavor at the metal store, spent about $500, and this is all I got. Some 4x5 sheets, 18 gauge, some 120 wall DOM, 2 different diameters, some square tubing, and some 1/8 inch plate. That's it. That is all I got for $500. So, I kind of made some supports here, as you can see, for the car sits really low to the ground. So it's basically going to be like a frame slider. Welded all the way across the bottom of the whole entire inner rocker into the frame, and then I also welded this support up here all the way across the frame and around the door jamb. So it's going to strengthen the inner and outer rocker immensely. Did it on both sides. Plus it's going to be a really nice start for the floor, having that angled flat section right there. But I'm really happy with this. Like, I don't know, I just think it's going to really help if I start to go over something really low, really protect the rocker and just slide right over it. So I've been doing a lot of work here and there, but more so I have been doing a whole lot more meditating on how I want to fabricate the next project. And I think I figured it out after watching some other videos. I saw a video, I think it was from V-Tuned or Ricky Pilot or something like that, about some Mustangs that they worked on, and I really liked the idea, and I figured, why reinvent the wheel? I'll just use what they have. So I believe that they were using some square tubing like this. I went ahead and took everything else out on the bottom of the rear body down here. I'm just going to take the square tubing, I'm going to cut it to size, trim it down right there so it'll fit really nicely in there, and weld it up so I'll have a little bit more support in my rear body. And I'm going to move on to bracing the body to the frame and building the floor. Stay tuned. So I do not have a tube notcher yet, but I think without having a tube notcher, it actually didn't turn out too terribly bad. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's close. The combination of cutoff wheel and some grinders and stuff like that made it pretty close. But the whole goal here is to make basically mounts that will secure the frame to the body. So I'm going to coat this tube, fit it down a little bit more, weld it up like that. I'm going to do another one there, 2 over there. Kind of hold the body a little bit more secure to the frame. I mean, the car was originally a unibody car. It didn't really have a frame, so I'm hoping welding everything back to the frame isn't going to make it too rigid, but we'll see. I mean, if it's a rough ride, it's a rough ride, but hey, at least it'll be a fun ride. So I've made some adjustments here. I kind of marked up some ram board with the back half of the car back here, just to kind of mock up what my floor is going to look like. I think I'm going to end up doing a design, either rectangular or lines or something, and do some bead rolling. But yeah, I just kind of had it clamped in place for right now, so I'll take it out and I'll show you. I do have some Cleco fasteners that I'll probably end up using when I actually put the sheet metal down, but as for right now, it just comes out pretty easily. So I'm going to try to make one big piece on the floor. You can see that I've already welded supports down here. There's tubing right here. I did some coping to adjust for the frame itself, and I plated the section right here on the floor extension. So I think that we have pretty solid rigidity, and I'm just trying to do some sheet metal, but I'm also going to have to make something for my rear suspension here. I'm thinking about duplicating this exact bar right here, the angles, and putting it over this direction going towards the front, and then making some brackets for the coilovers. I got to figure out my angles and suspension travel and everything else like that, and then do some more tubing and coping and more supports to hold that in place. But that's kind of where I'm at right now. actually pretty close. So I gotta do a little bit more trimming. See what's gonna fit a little bit better. I mean, it's pretty freaking close. I'm pretty okay with that. Like I said, I'm gonna roll some beads. I don't know, something like that. 'Cause I'm gonna have my fuel cell sitting here. So I definitely want to strengthen it a little bit. I may end up doing some more bracing across. If I roll the beads and it still doesn't seem stiff enough, I'm not really sure. I may add some more support to the floor, maybe on the underside so you won't see it. But I don't know if it's needed, because once I come over here and I end up attaching floor points going this way, I'll weld it over here to this 1x1 square tubing I have. I'll weld it to the floor extension, weld it to the roll cage. I feel like it's going to be pretty sturdy. So this is how it started. Didn't do anything with the wheel well on this side. Already removed the tire on the other side and started cutting out the wheel well. And you can see the remnants from whenever I first trimmed it, and then you can see how it looks now. Everything's cut out nice and clean. Plenty of room to try to make my own wheelhouse. But lots of room, nice and clean, nice and open. I'm trying to figure out my coilover situation, how I'm going to mount that first, and then I'm going to move on to the wheelhouse and try to finish it up and make some custom flares for this thing. But that's how she sits so far. Okay, so I didn't really want to buy one, but I really needed one to make some custom tubing. Currently trying to make some coilover mounts for the rear. And I'll have to do a lot of coping and a little bit of support, some bracing, and then I'm also going to have to use it to finish my 12-point cage. But anyways, I got the Woodward Fab tube bender. Took a while to put it together. The instructions kind of suck, but man, this thing is nice. I'm excited about it. It's not hard either. A lot of people don't like manual. I actually like it. Plus, it's way cheaper. So I'm making my coilover mounts for the bottom of my lower control arms, and I have one just kind of mocked up, cut out for the top. But anyway, so I got a 1/2-inch hole drill. These are going to end up going on the bottom like this. So I've already made one that's close to what I want. Cut up a second one, and it's obviously off, so I'm just going to grind it and clean it. Then get the tops mocked up, so I can figure out where exactly I want to place my tubing, because these right here are, the bottom is 10/8, the top is 14-inch. So I think I want to put it around 12 for the ride height. So I kind of need to have everything mocked up to know exactly where to put my tubing and where to put these brackets. See, 2 pieces. Who needs mills and lathes whenever you have me with a 3-inch grinder? Works out nice. So I gotta remove the clamps, do the bottom, clean the bottom, make sure it's right, and then drill another hole to perfection. Yeah, okay. So I got tired of doing all the coping by hand, so I bought a tube notcher. First time using this one, so let's see if it works. I didn't take one thing into account, the depth. I need to get a deeper one because there's the shaft on the inside stops right up here, and so it's completely come all the way down and contact the tubing. So I can't go any deeper. So it got me a rough start, but not what I was hoping for. Yeah, well, I mean, it would have looked great, but it just didn't go all the way through. Anyways.